Jackson, I know we talked with Caleb last week just about that opportunity to get an extra week of work in. So how do you feel about the work that the guys have been able to put in over the course of the past week?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the guys who are here, I think, have been working really hard. Keep the fitness up, but of course, work on things that we've looked at the first few games that we needed to kind of improve on. So you can get a lot of competition. In the last week, we can kind of observe and take our time in certain areas, but the guys are working hard to. Get our first win of the season, and we're really motivated for that for this coming Saturday.
When you have an off weekend, which are rare throughout the course of the season, do you try to disconnect and step away? Do you watch games, or do you just try to sort of step away from the game?
I try to keep a pretty similar habit and routine. It is only one weekend, but I think it's still pretty early in the season to fully step away. So it's a lot of looking at what we've done over the course of 2 months, and especially the first 4 games, and seeing where we can improve. And of course, I like to watch soccer, of course, so I watch all the Nations League games and all around. So still try to keep as much involved as I can, but of course, rest the body.
Jackson, I don't know if obviously Yusuff isn't here, but we kind of seen you guys play as like a midfield trio with Polster, Yusuff, and yourself. Just overall, what's it kind of like being able to play with all those guys together, and just overall, what do you think the potential is for kind of your group of midfielders there?
Yeah, I think it's very positive. I mean, I think Matt was injured a little bit, and so I think we're still gelling a little bit with the 3 of us. But I think their qualities are very high. Matt can run and find a lot of good pockets on the ball, and Yusuff also has a good ability of driving with the ball and finding the right areas. But I think defensively we work really good as a unit, which I think is something that we really wanted to do. And now it's just about offensively, how can we create a little bit more and get it to our attackers in the final third a little bit better.
We saw at the end of practice there, you guys were obviously doing a lot of shooting. It seems like Caleb mentioned that a lot, that you guys are working on that final third. What's practice been like while you work on that?
Intense, aggressive. I think we want higher volume during the game, and so you can see that in the training plans is we want to be in and around box and not afraid to take our opportunities. We don't want to waste time and let the defense kind of set up. So a lot of intensity, a lot of aggressive movements in and around the box, and taking your chances when they're there, and that's been a big focus from Caleb.
A couple of weeks ago, Taylor Twellman talked about a little bit of pressure on the team and Caleb Porter. Are you guys feeling pressure at this point? It's early in the season, but are you feeling pressure from fans and other people?
I think the pressure, it comes internally first, but of course we want to win and show our fans that we're a really good team and good players. We know that it's a long season, but it's important to get points early and often. We have a couple of road games coming, so we want to take advantage of the home games. And so the pressure is it's soccer, and you have ups and downs, and we want to turn this around and get on our front foot and start playing as well as we can, because we know we're a good team. And so that's the pressure that we put on ourselves, is we have a high standard and we have to live up to that.
I know Seth mentioned a moment ago that you guys worked on crossing and finishing a lot. Obviously, you've played center midfielder. There's moments where you've played out on the left. How difficult for you is it to try and work on both sides of the ball at the same time, where on the outside you could be crossing, in the middle you could be finishing? How important is it to be versatile with the multiple positions that you play?
Yeah, I think in the midfield and especially in the attacking half, we want to be fluid, in our movements. You can, of course, you have a structure that you want to kind of start up and set up with, but the game will call for different things where you have to be in the right scenarios. I think a few times this year I've gotten into a crossing situation, and so you have to train it, because practice what you kind of want to see in the game. But obviously it's a different line of sight in the game for me a little bit, but that's what training's for, trying to find in different areas to get our goal scorers on the ball and find the right spots for them to create opportunities.
Awesome. And obviously earlier in the year you and Carlos Hill switched off a lot during set pieces. How have you guys adapted and looked to improve on your set pieces through this year?
I think we have the Mark, who's been working with us a lot about, kind of tactics and what we want to see, and, how the defense is kind of lining up a little bit. So we've been very, on top of, in-swinger balls, which requires, right and left foot from either side. But, of course, Mark has his strategy in certain moments and against certain teams. But we want to capitalize on it. We think we have good services and good targets in the box, and, we need to utilize that aspect of the game for the games ahead.
you talk about Maxi Rudy? I just watched him out here, and he just seems like a vibe.
Yeah.
You know, he's scoring goals and real happy
yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, a goal scorer, great guy in the locker room. He brings energy every training, whether he was starting or not, and a really, really important person in the locker room. I've got to play against him a lot, and he's kind of a pain in the ass to play against. So he's always running, always working, and I think it's great for the guys here because he loves to score and he loves to be a part of the group, and for that's what we need for going forward.
I have one last one. How does it feel to see Tomas Shankalai getting more integrated into the group? Obviously, he's been working with an injury. How does it feel to see him out here working hard with the rest of the group?
Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, very similar, I think, energy to Maxi. He brings a lot of, joy and happiness when he's on the field. A lot of, goal scoring technique and ability. You can see from the finishing, just his prowess, in and around the goal. And so I think that's something that will really, really benefit us. And of course, he's got a great kind of understanding of guys in the locker room, and guys really respect him. And so, it's great that he's out here, and hoping that he can keep, being a part of the team moving forward, and get more minutes under him because he's a phenomenal guy and a great player.